let's start with your reading, Aries. Today, we are going to look into your past, present, and future energies to see where you're coming from, what you're going through right now, and what you should expect in the near and distant future. Also, a reminder, I still weekly select viewers to offer them free personal readings. To learn how to be selected, make sure to watch the full video. Now, let's start with your past, present, and future. Okay, all right. The main energy for you today is the Ace of Swords. And what we see right here is that this message contains some sort of breakthrough, some sort of information that it's given to you at a time where you least expect it. And an information as well that starts a new chapter. We're looking into an ace, and we do see an ace at the very end of the reading as well, which is symbolizing that something that perhaps you thought was over, a chapter that you thought was closed and ended, instead, it's still very much alive. And you might be potentially just be at the in the middle of it, not at the end of it. So let's see what this is about. And by the way, it's followed by the Nine of Cups. We start the reading with the star up here. And this is definitely talking about some sort of wish, some sort of desire that you had at some point in the past, as we see here, that it's coming back alive for some reason. We'll see what this is about. First of all, in the past position, the star, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Swords. We see how this is something that you truly wanted in the past. This is something that felt almost like an extension of you. When you heard about this, when you saw this opportunity or this person, if this is a love reading for you, you immediately thought to yourself, that's the one I want. That's exactly what I was looking for. It fits all of my needs and it checks all of the boxes. And it felt great. I mean, right here, you see this person just feeling that love, that drive, that sense of purpose as well. And right here, we see the fire, the passion, something that maybe you were not even expecting to feel in that moment, but that it happened. And it changed you in so many ways. At least it changed your vision from that moment forward. Now, the very next card is showing how at some point you had to walk away from this. Eight of Cups. Wasn't easy? Absolutely not. But it was necessary, at least at that point in time. The Eight of Cups shows someone who knows what they have to do, even though it hurts, even though they don't want to do it deep down. But you have come to the realization at some point that you needed to step away from this because maybe you experienced a deep disappointment, some sort of turn of events that you were not expecting at all at that point. There is maybe some abandonment as well. Maybe someone walked away from this, someone who's not you. Overall, you had to let go of this. And although it hurt, you knew at that time that it was the right thing to do. You wanted to potentially sacrifice yourself in that moment and your vision in that moment so that things might have worked out better in the future. Now, Two of Swords, this is clearly something that was not easy to do, but there is more to this message that you don't know about. As if someone here maybe had the same hard time that you did without showing it. There is definitely a lot of secretive energy behind this Two of Swords, as if someone didn't want to really look into the problem, didn't want to really look into how they felt walking away from this or behaving the way they did, which made you walk away from this. There's a lot to unpack here, and we'll see when we clarify what this is about. In the present, we don't see very super positive energies. Let's say the moon, Four of Cups, Nine of Wands, you are really trying to move away from this, to let go of it, and maybe physically you did, but emotionally there is still something that ties you to this energy, to this chapter of your life, which you have closed. You have clearly closed right here, but that at times pulls you back in and you don't know why. It just happens and you find yourself just going with the flow. And you see with this moon someone who doesn't know anymore what will come out of that situation, doesn't know if they are doing the right thing, doesn't know if maybe there is still something that is going to come up. Because with the moon we see some messages again that are secrets, secretive at least, things that are not revealed, but that regardless, nevertheless, they're there. And so at times you have the ability to walk, choose your direction. Some other times instead you find yourself going with the flow, floating, and not knowing exactly where you are going to end up. And this can be very, very frustrating, but you have the strength. You do have the strength to go through this period, and you have definitely something to look forward to down here. I see that there is a lot of stillness in a situation where instead in the past there was a lot of movement, a lot of passion. But energetically, at least, still there is a lot of movement here. You cannot see it, obviously. You cannot feel it, but it's there. Or you cannot feel it at times, but it's always there. Right now, you might be feeling like you're back to square one, to that place where you have to dream about something good instead of having it in your life around you. You might still be dreaming or hoping either for this or for something similar to this. I do see you focusing on work, on yourself. You have zero expectations at this point. You're just looking at life or looking at this specific situation without expecting anything. And that makes you feel empty, but at times it also makes you feel strong because at least you're not going to end up disappointed. That's what you're telling yourself. You do not want to invest into something that didn't work out in the past or something that just seems too complicated. Dreams are beautiful, goals are essential, but when something gets too complicated and just keeps working against you, even though you give your best, then maybe that's a message in itself. A message telling you that is your destiny, but maybe not this way, maybe not with this person, maybe not in this specific situation. Regardless, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Potentially it's not going to happen at this specific time, but there is something that you should consider down here, and we'll look into it in a second. Right here is very important to also point out that there are some signs that I see here, especially with the moon, something around you that at times, as I was mentioning earlier, pulls you back into this and confuse you even more. It could be a song, a photo that comes back up. And maybe for some of you, this person or this situation keeps connecting with you, trying to connect with you, sending messages, whether they are real messages or just emotional messages, if that makes sense. They're trying to connect with you on an emotional level, on an energetic level. There is something right here that you cannot fully understand, and you don't know if it's just in your head or if it is an anticipation of something to come in soon. Might be the last one actually, because right here we see Two of Cups, Ten of Swords, and the Ace of Wands. That ace that we were mentioning at the very beginning of the reading. Listen, It's clear that right here there is the potential for a new chapter. And the Ace of Wands really reconnects you to that passion that you had right here with the star, the fire of the star up there, something that is going to bring you back either to that person or to someone who represents the same thing to you. If this is a person, if that was an opportunity, we see right here you connecting again to that vision. But this time, it's not just an emotional thing. It's not just something that it's in your head. When wands come up into the reading, we see action. We see actually something that has a lot of potential. And all you need to do at this point is really trusting your instincts. When the Ace of Wands comes up, you have to follow your gut instinct because it's going to take you onto the right path. Right now, we see that there are new opportunities and things coming in which will definitely place you back on that path which you walked away from at some point in time. Now, there is this Ten of Swords. And so that's actually really, really good news because it's telling us that all the pain, all the struggle, all the full sword cycle you went through right here, clearly it has come to an end. Now you can move forward and experience this situation without the fears, without the worries, without the concerns that you have experienced up to this point, anytime you have thought or fought for this specific situation, for this specific dream, goal of yours. And so, what we see so far, at least, the main message for you today, Aries, is that you have had to walk away from this, but this is actually a blessing in disguise because that wasn't the right time, that wasn't the right place. But you need to hold on tight because what's coming next will place you there again. And this time, at least from what I see so far, it feels like it's going to be completely different. So, this is your main message, but let's start clarifying in order to understand more um, about this situation, in order to see more details about the incoming energy, especially. But there is something that it's connecting you right here. You see, Ten of Swords, Two of Swords, something you didn't know back then that it's going to show up right here. And that it's not a message that connects to you. That's something that you don't know about the thing, person that you were leaving behind. So we have a lot to clarify. Let's keep going with the reading. Let's see what you should know today about the situation. And let's see where you're headed, both in the near and distant future, Aries. If you want to dive deeper into the messages, just follow me in the extended reading link below in the description box. Also, don't forget that every week I randomly select viewers who have watched the extended video to offer them a free personal 100% free, actually, personal 30-minute to 60-minute reading. I send out emails every Monday morning to confirm. Please make sure to check out your spam folder as well. Now, stay tuned for the extended preview coming right up after this. Welcome back to your extended reading, Aries. The bridging energy taking us from this current situation to the incoming events is judgment. I love this energy right now because, and the world following it, because we see how this is a rebirth for you, the rebirth of self, or even just the rebirth of a dream, something that was dormant for potentially a very long time, but that now comes back stronger. I love to see this combination because it's confirming the fact that something is starting, there's a rebirth, as we were saying, but also right here we see that things are different. This is something that it's built around you and something that can potentially last a very long time. The world brings success. The world brings achievement and a feeling of wholeness, which is at the base of real happiness. It's always been the case, and it will always be the case. If you don't feel complete, You might be happy in the moment, but you will always chase something else or someone else because you feel the lack of something important to you. And until you don't feel that void, you will not be truly happy. What comes in next instead gives you everything you need in order to achieve that type of happiness that potentially some of you have still never experienced, not fully in your life. So let's start clarifying, Aries. Let's start seeing what you should know from the past, especially this Two of Swords, what you should know today, and how it's going to connect to this Swords energy down here in your future. Let's start by clarifying the Star, Eight of Cups, and Two of Swords. Okay, here it is. Four of Pentacles together with the Chariot, the Hermit, and the Queen of Pentacles. See what this person is doing right here? What I see is definitely some